Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. In this first video I'm talking about this booklet, The ABC of Cookery, which had the price of 1 shilling in 1945. It was published by H.M. Stationery Office in London. As you can see, the cover is quite battered and not attached. I'm going to read this first page so you can get an idea of what this booklet is about. The ABC of Cookery. This is not a recipe book. It is a book which explains cookery methods. Methods useful in days of plenty as well as in times of rationing. It tells, for instance, how to boil, bake and fry, how to make pastry, and, having made it, how to line a basin or top a pie with it. The indignant bride who wrote complaining that cake recipes always ended with the words, "mixed the usual cake consistency," and how could she be expected to know what that was, will find her problem solved on page 56. In short, this book tells how to carry out all the different cookery processes and explains what cookery terms mean. It is intended to be used with the Ministry of Food recipe leaflets, although it is not restricted to wartime cookery. But one thing the war years have taught us is that good cooking, important in itself, is not enough. The housewife must know how to plan her family's meals. Her choice of food will largely determine not only their good health, but also their good looks. Proper feeding can go a long way towards ensuring clear eyes, glossy hair, skin that is free from blemishes, just as your resistance to infection is largely determined by the food you eat. For this reason, a chapter on how to plan meals has been included. It is well worth the closest study. Ministry of Food, 1945. This has been written with a post-World War II mindset, and the tone is very much of its time. I do wonder who these helpless brides were. They'd just been through a war. These were probably the most resourceful people you could imagine. Anyhow, I think the aim was to ensure that everyone managed to get the best out of their rations. I'm going to focus on a few of the pages in this video, and then at the end I will show you stills of all the pages in case anyone wants to take a closer look at each of those. I'll put those as chapters in the description so that you'll be able to jump back and forwards if you want to. So this really is a guide on how to set up and use all the items in a normal kitchen of the time. As you can see, it contains choice and care of cooking utensils, shopping tips, cooking terms and methods, using recipes, seasoning food, and then goes through some of the different items that you will be cooking. And at the end, it goes as far as how to plan meals. So let's first take a look at what you should be having in your kitchen. Here we have a complete list of everything they consider essential for a standard kitchen. It's almost as if they were giving you a wedding list. There are different sizes of saucepans, kettles, baking trays, dishes, wooden spoon, 10 inches long, vegetable knife or a cook's knife, an egg whisk, salt and pepper containers, tea towels, rolling pins, sink tidy. It almost seems a little too detailed to me. Next, we're going to have a look at storing food. Storing food. If possible, choose food storing cupboards which are dry, well ventilated and light. The shelves should be within easy reach, and it is better to have narrow shelves than deep ones. With deep shelves, food may be pushed to the back and overlooked. Whenever possible, the shelves should be painted. Dirt and dust can be easily wiped off painted surfaces, whereas they stick to unpainted ones. Useful advice there? This I thought was interesting. Scalding milk in order to make it safe. Fresh milk. Milk can be the means of spreading diseases such as tuberculosis, diphtheria and scarlet fever. So it is important to buy milk produced under hygienic conditions. Unless milk has come from a herd of tuberculin-tested cows or has been pasteurized, it should be scalded or boiled before drinking. Imagine having to do that every time you wanted to use milk. And here, for all those of you who have trouble making cakes, there are an awful lot of things that can go wrong. As I said earlier, I'll be putting stills of all the pages in this document at the end of the video so that you can peruse them at your leisure. There's lots of information here on the kinds of things that people had available to eat and the cooking methods that were preferred at the time. I hope you've enjoyed this little visit into 1945 and what life was like. Thank you for watching.